What up, guys? What up, guys? And welcome back to Thomas Reacts here on the 360 Experience with myself, Thomas Mabaso. So, guys, the video that we are going to react to today, it's an interview actually by Thais Khiba, who was speaking to the Economic Freedom Fighter Student Command President Sihle Lozi, and they were talking about the newly elected president of the ANC Youth League, Collen Malatji, and his remarks that he made about Julius Malema, and the fact that Collen Malatji actually on his first press conference he failed to actually address how they are going to empower the youth as the new administration of the Youth League. So guys, this video is very interesting, it's very nice. I know that it's been quite a long time since Malatji made those statements, but the ANC Youth League is still relevant today because we know that the South African youth is not working. We know the many problems that are facing our youth today in our society. So these interviews like this are still relevant. So guys, let us go in and listen to what Sihle, Lozi and Thais Khiba were talking about.
Thank you so much, Sihle Lozi, for speaking to us. Welcome to Central News. We just want to get your reaction on what you have tweeted. You can confirm and correct us on whether it was your tweet or not. You have reacted to what the newly elected ANC Youth League President Collen Malatji has said about your president Julius Malema, who's the former president of the Youth League of ANC. Your reaction to that?
Well, no, thank you very much for having me, and also greetings to your listeners. Our view is that the ANC Youth League is never going to get itself out of the leadership crisis and structural decay that it's currently involved in, because instead of speaking about what it wishes to do for the youth of South Africa, instead of speaking about what it will do differently to build its structure to become a vanguard of young people, it is preoccupied with the commander-in-chief of the EFF, who was the last ANC Youth League president who ever had a decisive program of action which dealt directly with the problems of young people in South Africa. So all of them, as they come in and out, the only thing that they have to talk about is Julius Malema this, Julius Malema that. But none of...
I mean, like, guys, I remember when I did that reaction video to what the president of the ANC Youth League, Collen Malatji, was saying about Julius Malema. I remember saying that the guy was on TV for a long time, but it only took him 2 minutes to actually take away from everything he was trying to convey. And this is exactly what I was talking about, because now that whenever someone talk about the ANC Youth League right now, the only thing they want to address is those remarks directed to Julius Malema. They don't want to talk about anything that the guy was even trying to talk about. I mean, like, that's exactly what I said, that it only takes 2 minutes to fuck up everything that we're trying to say. And this is exactly what happened, because people don't even remember what he was talking about. But the one thing that is stuck with people is that attack that he made on Julius Malema. And this is not the first interview, this is not the last that they are talking about the same thing. So I think Sihle Lozi is telling the truth when he talks about the fact that they will never get out of the leadership crisis that is happening at the ANC right now, and the decay that is happening at the ANC right now. Because we can, like, I mean, guys, if we're going to have the newly elected president of the ANC Youth League after 8 years, we are expecting someone who is competent, we are expecting someone who is well spoken, and we are expecting someone who is going to talk to talk to us about policies and what they are actually going to do to make sure that they transform the lives of the young people in this country. But that is not the case here, because the only thing that caught people's attention was when he spoke about Julius Malema. This is exact same thing I was talking about, that it only takes 2 minutes to fuck up everything that you are trying to say. So I hope that the president of the Youth League is happy right now, because the only thing that they talk about when they talk about him are those remarks that he made to Julius Malema.
Some of them are talking about what are their plans, what is their mission statement, what is their vision for the youth of South Africa. I mean, the guy is given a platform, a national platform. He has just been elected. There is high unemployment amongst youth. There is graduate unemployment. There is GBV. There is teenage pregnancy. There is gangsterism in our communities. There is drug and alcohol abuse, and many more social ills which are affecting young people in South Africa. And he reduces that entire platform to talking about an individual. So there is nothing more that we expect from that leadership. It's going to die a natural death, like all the ones who have come after the commander-in-chief left the ANC.
Sihle, what he has just said yesterday, it got a lot of reaction, and what I've also realized is that people differ also on their reaction. Is it fair to say that he was asked a question about Malema, whether he was fired for economic freedom or not? Then he responded to the question. At least from your side, how he could have responded to that particular question? Look,
I mean, the guy could have just told them that, okay, guys, I know that you want to know about Julius Malema, but this is not the time, because it's my first press conference as the president of the ANC Youth League. The last thing that I want to talk about is the leader of another political party. That's the only thing that he should have said. That I don't want to talk about this. This is not the time to talk about this. Like Sihle said, we have teenage pregnancy, we have crime, we have unemployment. We have all these issues that are facing us today. Why are you even asking me about that? Even the journalist who asked that question was supposed to be shamed. Like, guy, why are you even asking me about Malema when we have so many problems that are facing us today as the youth? So the journalist was at fault. The journalist was at fault. And he was also at fault for not actually correcting the journalist. Because he should have just told the journalist straight up that, guy, this is not the time. This is not the time. Because that is exactly that is happening right now, because the South African media, they don't want to talk about anything that is going to help the youth of South Africa. They don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about petty politics. Who said what about who? They just want to run this quick clickbait. It's all about reviews to them. They don't care about the fact that these guys are there on a national platform trying to actually talk about the issues that are affecting us as young people in this country. They don't want to talk about that. So how could you even give in to that? How could you give in to that? Because he gave them exactly the same thing that they want. He was there on a national platform, but the only thing they wrote about him, they didn't write anything that, they didn't say anything about what his press conference about, what he was trying to convey. The only thing that they were talking about him was these two images of him versus Malema. So even the South African media is not even interested in issues that are affecting us as the youth of this country. That's why I say he was wrong. He should have said, no, comrade, you are out of order. You are out of order. I mean, I would never allow that. If I become the new president of the ANC Youth League, then I'm giving a national platform to actually address these millions of people who are not working, who are faced with this crime, who are faced with these many problems. Why the hell would I talk about Julius Malema? Why the hell would I talk about other people when I have millions of people that I need to address? So he was wrong.
and you are mature and understand. If as you ask me certain questions in the media, you must understand that journalists are always going to seek for clickbait.
Exactly.
And if you are not a political leader who understands the space and the politics you are engaged in, you may quickly be defocused and made to talk about something else other than what you were supposed to go there for. So if he had the necessary political maturity, he was supposed to realize that if such a question arises, it is nothing other than a trap. But secondly, it is not true to say that our Commander-in-Chief left because of field discipline. It means he also doesn't have the necessary historical knowledge and understanding of all the...
And even his surroundings are wrong. Because those people behind him were actually laughing. They were laughing. Nobody actually told him, like, guy, please stop. Nobody told him, guy, please stop. What the hell are you doing? They were laughing there. And nobody was like, bruh, this is a trap. This is a trap. Nobody said that. So even the people that he hang around are wrong. Because okay, I can admit that he might not have seen it as a trap. He might not have seen it as a trap. But his people were supposed to be like, no, bruh, what you are doing is wrong. Because they were laughing. I'm trying to find that video to show you, like, those people were laughing. They didn't care.
Malema was...
They didn't care. That's why I said, like, this guy should have told the journalist, like, bruh, this is not the time to talk about this. This is not the time to talk about this. He should have told him straight up. But he couldn't wait to take the opportunity so that he could, trend a bit. And crazy enough, after that, that is the only thing that people were asking him about. So that's why Sihle said, like, we don't have a leadership here because we don't even know what they stand for. We don't even know, like, what they want to do. We don't know their plans. So if this guy, they caught him on the back foot, his team should have been like, no, don't ask him that question. This is his first press conference as the president of the ANC Youth League. Don't ask him about Malema. His team should have said that. But they didn't. They were laughing.
Malema was fired for economic freedom. Not true. It's a lie. It's a lie. That must be clarified. He was fired for ill discipline. He was fired for contravening the constitution of the ANC and the Youth League. He wanted to create a Youth League to be a cult organization that belongs to him, like the EFF. Then the EFF there, no matter how educated you are, you can't even speak. Educated doctors walk Lozi, they run around with water everywhere.
So maybe the guy also wanted to talk about Malema. Because even his team is happy that he's doing this. They're happy that he's talking about this. They're happy that this guy is taking the opportunity that is given to him on a national platform to actually attack Malema instead of telling the youth what he's going to do as the new president.
Now here in the ANC, you are allowed to bring your views. That's why in the ANC we have got policy conferences, we have got NGCs, we have got meetings, platforms, we have got BGMs. Everyone, we even went further during the local government elections to open up our candidacy to communities. That is the ANC, it's not a cult organization. That's why everyone who wants to form, who behave like a cult, we expel them in the ANC. When they try to form their own organization, people move away from them. People like Julius is popular on Twitter. If we can do a Twitter vote, according to Twitter, Julius will be the president of the country today. But our communities of the country.
So I mean, like this guy, guys, what kind of a leadership we have? What kind of a leadership? Because if you are a leader and they caught you off guard, but you should have a team telling you like, no, this is not how you should do it. Don't address this. No, don't talk about that. We are here to actually make sure, like we are here to actually make sure that you have a good image. We can actually sell you out there. But they were laughing. They were just having fun. That's why maybe like Sihle was like there's no difference that these guys are going to bring. There's no difference. You can tell. I mean, like the first press conference, like it says a lot. You can tell. You can tell that like there's nothing that these guys are going to do for us as young people of this country. Because they are just happy to trend, they are just happy to be on the front lines talking about other members of the other political parties instead of being on the front lines talking about the issues that are actually affecting the youth, which is their mandate. So there is nothing that these guys are going to do for us.
Which led to the generation of economic freedom in our lifetime. This is the ANC. We should have gone to the archives. We should have seen the conference resolution. We should have looked at what were the policy positions that the ANC of that time pushing, and what was the posture and attitude of the leadership of the ANC towards those particular individuals. So even in his analysis, not only is it dishonest, but it's also ahistorical. But what we want to emphasize is that we know what all of these puppets, young puppets of the ANC elders are sent to do. All of them, when they get elected and imposed, they are given one mandate, and their mandate is to try to delegitimize the chief. But the commander in chief is a master planning. Just now talking about him being a rapid bridge, global leader. We can't be to by now, Johnny Cow or people who just arrived now, and all of a sudden have something to say about it. So he was supposed to see that, and he was supposed to shift the discussion to talk about the vision that he has for the youth of South Africa. But he fell for the trap, and not only did he fall for the trap, he became ahistoric and dishonest in his analysis.
Sihle, young people in South Africa are unemployed. The majority of our economy still belongs to the minority, unfortunately. Do you think that if black leaders, whether you come from EFF, ANC, or any other political party like Action SA, if black leaders would collaborate and work together instead of attacking each other, they would at least achieve what we call economic freedom for black people and young people in this country?
Look, the posture of the EFF has always been, when the common goal is the same and it speaks to changing the lives of our people, who are willing to come on board. Let's take a practical example.
Sure.
The Section 25 changing of the Constitution for land expropriation without compensation. We said today, guys, here are our votes. Here is our presence in Parliament. Let us change the Constitution so that we can have land redistributed and destroy inequality in South Africa. We're willing to work with them. Where we differ and will always fight is because these other political parties, when you look at their coalition discussions, they are not interested in the policy direction of the country. They are not interested in service delivery. They are not interested in what can be done to change the lives of our people. What they want to talk about is who is going to be MNC, who is going to get this position, who is going to be deployed to form part of this board, who is going to become the mayor. And that's where we fight them. And we're going to continue to fight with them. Because when you talk to us, the first discussion we must have, even before positions and distribution of positions, is what is a common goal, what is a program of action that will change the lives of our people.
I mean, I know, guys, the whole thing, the whole thing of black leaders or black political parties coming together, I don't think it will happen, because there are so many factors right now. Because some of these black political parties are only there, but they are pushing a certain mandate that is not aligned with what the people want on the ground. So the idea of black political parties coming together to actually deliver on our needs, it will never happen. That's why I always emphasize the importance of voter education and the importance of election, and people need to understand how powerful the election is. We need to be able to filter out people who are not going to do anything for us. But we need to be able to be okay, this person is not going to do anything for me, so I'm going to push him aside so that I can push in this person who's going to do anything. Because the whole idea of blacks coming, that whole thing, it will never happen. Not in South Africa. Everyone wants to be in parliament. Everyone wants to be somewhere in government. That's why we have a million parties. That's why we have million parties. And I remember the other day I was asking, isn't that ANC's fault? Because the ANC they have had this opportunity to actually bring us all together under one umbrella and deliver on people's needs. Nationalize the mines, nationalize the banks, nationalize the land. If the ANC was delivering to people what people wanted, there will never be a need for all of these political parties outside. So is it fair to say what's happening right now, it's partly ANC's fault by not being able to bring us under one umbrella? Because there wouldn't be a need. Right now we have so many political parties in South Africa. I don't even know some of these political parties. There are so many logos there when you go to vote. You don't even know who these guys are. So the fact that we can break ourselves into so many parts, it shows us that we will never work together. We will never work together. So is it partly ANC's fault that they couldn't deliver on people's needs, that people saw it better for them to start their own political parties? Today we have million political parties. I can't even imagine how many political parties are going to be on the ballots in 2024. Man, this whole thing, man, is a joke. We have so many political parties. I don't understand. But at the same time, I cannot go out there and strictly criticize them. Because if I feel like I can do anything, if I feel like I can do something better for my communities, and these parties that are there, they are not doing anything well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my own political party. So the whole thing of working together, it will never work.
So that has always been the approach of the EFF, and will never succumb to an uncontrollable desire to form part of government simply for positions.
Okay, before I let you go, we are going to elections very soon. Why do you think people should vote for EFF? Can people trust EFF with the government of South Africa?
That question is very funny, man. I'm going to play it again, guys. That question is very funny. I feel like that question is funny. Like, do you think people should trust the EFF? I mean, like, if anything happens in the country, the first political party that is tagged on the social media is EFF. If someone is dismissed there, if someone is unlawfully dismissed at work, the first political party they go to is EFF. If a student feel like a certain institution is mistreating them, the first political party that they tag on social media or they complain to is the EFF. People don't go to the ANC to tell them that, okay guys, University of maybe Johannesburg, they don't want to give me my certificates because of 1, 2, 3. So guys, what are you going to do to help me? Like, if people have problems, the first political party they go to is the EFF. But when it comes to voting, they still vote with the same party. I honestly cannot understand how the minds of our people work sometimes. For 5 years. I mean, like, if you have Twitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If people have problems, whether at work, at home, or at school, or at varsity, the first party they go to is the EFF. I mean, like, if right now they don't want to register you at a certain institution, man, come on. Who are the first people you are going to tell is the EFF. That's why the EFF Student Command is so powerful, because they can shake things up all across the country. Wherever they are, they can shake things up. That's why the EFF Student Command is like, it's so powerful. You can talk to students, man. Talk to students, like, you can ask them, like which office do you go to if you can't register, or if you feel like you are being mistreated, if you feel like these people, they don't want to give you your NSFAS, if you feel like any of those things, you don't have accommodation, the school don't want to provide you with accommodation, they don't want to pay you for anything of your, like, which is the first political party they go to? It's not a coincidence that the Student Command is so popular and it's so powerful. It's not a coincidence. It's the fact that the students, they do trust the EFF Student Command, which actually makes me question myself, like, why don't these people go out there and vote for the EFF? Like, the young people, why don't you go out there and vote? Not only for the EFF, but why don't you go out there and vote?
With the government of South Africa.
The people can trust the EFF, and I think we've managed to demonstrate that. So if you look at our posture towards these local governments before, we were not participating in the leadership of them. We simply say, well, we see that the candidate is good enough, we give them our vote they need. But now we started to say, let us actually show the people of South Africa what a government of the EFF would look like. We look at our participation in the Brunei, even before we could do anything else. The first thing we're able to identify is that there are cheaper trucks that are supposed to be cleaning our community, particularly the townships, which are very dead, with health hazardous dumping sites. The cheaper trucks are not only not being used, but secondly, majority of them are not accounted for. They've been stolen. We don't know where they are. So slowly but surely, we're starting to show the people what a government of the EFF would look like. We look at our involvement in the insourcing of workers in Johannesburg. We look at our participation in other municipalities such as Soweto in the Northwest. So we're beginning to show the people to say, we are no longer going to take a bystander approach when it comes to government. But where the opportunity presents itself, we're going to enter. And one thing the people of South Africa must know is that the EFF is a decisive organization. It's not an organization that is scared of taking political decisions that are going to change the lives of our people. One of the biggest problems of the ANC is that we are being led by an indecisive president. He can't take decisions on anything. He is permanently shocked. He is permanently surprised. He doesn't know what is happening in South Africa. But once you have the commander-in-chief, once you have the EFF in government, the people can rest assured that decisive decisions are going to be taken to change their lives, whether those decisions are popular or unpopular.
All right. Sihle Lozi, the president of the EFF Student Command, he believes that Collen Malatji was trapped in terms of that question that was posed by the journalist on Julius Malema. He could have answered it differently. Sihle, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for sharing your views with us here on Central News.
All right, no, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Sihle Lozi, for speaking to us. Welcome to...
So guys, I hope that the president of the ANC Youth League is happy. Now that the only thing that is mentioned, the only thing that is spoken about when people mention him is Julius Malema. I hope that is happy, man. And the guy needs to get a new team. Collen Malatji, you need to get a new team. You need to get people who actually care about you. People who can actually call you in order when you are wrong. You need to get people who can actually call you, like you need people who can actually tell you when you are wrong. Because it is not going to help you. It was not a good look. It is not a good look. Make sure that you get a competent team. A team that actually wants you to win. A team that actually wants to see you succeed. Because what's happening right now is a mess. So guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like and hit the notification bell so that you can get notifications whenever I drop new content. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time on Thomas Reacts. Bye bye.